Wilson?
I think the first thing I would say is I hope that this document that David McNarry has produced has better luck than the last document he produced. It was disowned by his own party, disowned by the Conservative Party, and they said that it was not anything to do, and they did not recognise some of the figures in it, nor some of the recommendations in it. I've got to say, when it comes to the black hole, as he calls it, his figures might have some credibility if he could even get the figures that his own minister produces right. I mean, we've just heard Michael McGimpsey on there a moment ago. £95 million for swine flu. Now, I would have thought that when David McNarry was producing this document, he might have even spoken to his own minister, because he only got £55 million down in this document. So he's about 100% out, or nearly 100% out on that one figure. And if that's true of that figure on swine flu, which he could easily have checked up with his Assembly colleague, then I think that we've got to take the rest of the figures with a pinch of salt.
So do you completely deny that there are, even if you don't want to call it a black hole, pressures amounting to more than £1 billion?
Well, first of all, I have never, and my predecessors have never, said that there were not pressures. That's the job of the Finance Minister, to acknowledge that there are pressures and to seek ways of dealing with them. I believe that those pressures are manageable, but I mean, if you just look, for example, at some of the figures that David McNarry has produced, £758 million for the further deferment of water charges. I've already dealt with water charges for this year. I dealt with them in the June monitoring round. The figure for next year for water charges is somewhere around £210 million if the executive decides not to go down the route of charging for water and decides decides to take it off departmental budgets. So, you know, there's another figure which he has got wrong, and I could go through so many of the rest of these figures. All I'm saying is, I am not denying there's been pressures. I have said it in the Assembly. I have said it in every interview I've done. I've been honest about it. But I believe that it can be managed. And it's significant, of course, when it comes to what the Ulster Unionist Party would do with this potential black hole which they've identified. You've got a many-page document here. And the only suggestion in it, the only recommendation, is set up another committee. Well, I think when people look at that as the recommendation and the sole recommendation coming from this, they'll really see how bereft of ideas the Ulster Unionist Party are in this.